Today is a big one. We're heading over to Melbourne for the very first time to watch our second Grand Slam tournament, the Australian Open. After experiencing Wimbledon, this has been on my bucket list for years, and today we're finally making it happen. We're taking you inside the grounds, breaking down how much everything actually costs, and yes, we're going inside the iconic John Cain Arena. This is going to be an unreal day, an unreal tournament, and an absolute must-watch if you love tennis, so let's get going. Good morning from the Adelaide airport. Today we're flying over from Adelaide to Melbourne to go and watch the tennis at the Australian Open, which I cannot wait for, so that is coming up very shortly. But let me tell you a bit about the flights to begin with. So it cost us $152 per person, which is fairly expensive. However, it is during the weekend of Australia Day, so I was expecting the prices to be a bit more expensive. And I've also got myself a new suitcase to try, so I'm praying that it fits into the size checker, otherwise we could be in a little bit of trouble. But because we don't have any checked luggage today, we don't need to go over to a check-in, so we're going to head straight over to security. So we have found the smallest size that we can, which is Jetstar. So let's see whether this actually fits or not. Oh, there we go. That is the perfect size. Let me tell you about the Level 8 Carry-On case, which has been a game changer for me when traveling. So starting off with the front compartment. So if you've watched my vlogs, you will know how much of a pain it has been for me to carry this laptop around in a rucksack or trying to get out of a suitcase to put through security. So let me show you how this works. So it's just one easy zip and you can fit any laptop from 15 inches and smaller into the laptop compartment. You can also fit other things like a book which you need to get out on the flight, and easy access to your passport too, so no more having to carry that around in your bum bag or in your pocket. It also has an extendable handle which is really easy to use, and you can use this one-handed with 360-degree wheels. The suitcase also comes with a TSA approved lock which is nice and easy to use, and it also has a zip which you can extend out for extra luggage. But what also surprised me with this case is just how spacious it feels. Not only was I able to fit everything into this case, but I could also do it in a nice and organised manner. The shell feels solid, but it's not too heavy, which is key, and it's designed to withstand real travel, not just look good in the photos. Overall, it makes travelling feel easier and more put together, and if you're someone who travels a lot and is looking for a suitcase to last, then Level 8 has nailed the balance between design, durability and practicality. So if this is something you're interested in, I've left my Amazon link in the description below, and you can also get 10% off on the official website by using the code SH10 at checkout. So now let's get back to the flight. We've just waited half an hour now for our flight and we're about to board. So I got myself a Sole Origin salad, which was $8.50, so nice and reasonable, and I definitely recommend it if you enjoy a salad. But now let's get onto a plane and head over to Melbourne for the very first time. And we have arrived in the fourth state here in Australia, which is Victoria, and we are in the city of Melbourne. Heading over now to the tennis. And we have arrived at the Australian Open and now making our way in to go and watch some of the tennis. It looks stunning, but today it is 40 degrees, so we're going to be melting today. But the tickets cost us $135 per person, which isn't too bad to be fair, and it is just for the night ticket, so we're only allowed to go in from 4 PM onwards. Because it isn't 4 PM yet, we have decided that we're going to head over to the hill first so we can go and watch some of the tennis from there, go grab a drink at the bar maybe to cool us down with it being so hot. But we have got great views right now of some of the matches. So here is a court not being played right now, but hopefully later on there'll be a few more matches going on. There's also the MCG Oval over there too, so that's pretty cool that we got to see that from the outside. But now let's head over to the hill to go and watch some tennis. So we've just found out that basically none of the outside court games are going on right now because it is so hot, and they don't start until 5:30 p.m, which is great news for us because that means there'll be more games going on whilst we are there. But we've now arrived at the hill to go and watch some of the tennis from up there. So they've basically got a massive screen which you can see on the back, which is there, and then there's going to be another entrance into the tennis just that little bit later on. But I'm loving the vibe right now, it's looking really cool, and hopefully the tennis should be really good too. So we bought our first drink for the day, which is at the Canadian Club, and it's like a whiskey Coke, and it actually tastes really good, but they are quite expensive here. So it's $15.50, which is about £7.25. So it is pretty expensive, but we're now going to sit down and enjoy watching some tennis. Currently Sinner is on, and it is a really close game, which is always good to see close games because we don't want people to just dominate others. The Sinner-Sposiri game looked really good, but it is now time to go inside and tick something else off my bucket list, go into the Melbourne Open. So let's make our way in. It's actually not too bad, the queue. I thought it was going to be a lot busier than it is, but there's literally no one there. It's probably 5, 6, 7 people that we've got to wait behind. So we have made our way into the event, and you may notice that it's a little bit shakier, and that's because they wouldn't allow me to take my vlogging camera in. So I've basically had to leave that on the outside. It doesn't really make any sense because I'm obviously vlogging on the phone right now, and that is allowed. So I've had to leave the camera in there with my microphone too, which is a bit annoying, but hopefully I can still get good footage of the day. But on entrance, they've got loads of cool little things here on the left-hand side. So they've got M&Ms, they've got a few little bars, courtside bar up there at the top, so you can go and watch a game whilst drinking. And then they've got the advertisement for a Kia car, which actually looks really nice. So we've just been having a look around, and we've come to our first court, which is the ANZ court. So they've obviously not got a match going on right now, but they will have one going on a bit later. So this is one of the free courts, so people can just come in and watch the tennis. But it's pretty cool to see our first blue court. These cool sprays are perfect for a day like today. So the section which we are walking down right now is really cool. So it's got all of the different courts where people are going to be playing later on. So there's some behind me, there's some in front of me too. And at the moment, they're basically empty because they're not playing until 5:30 because it is so hot today. So I've now decided to take the role as an umpire because it's getting so hot. I need the little umbrella in behind me, but look at how beautiful the course is. So this is really cool. So this is the board with all of the different matches from the event, and we're actually going to watch now in the John Cain Arena, Fritz versus Wawrinka. So Fritz is actually, I think, 9th in the world for the men's, so we'll have to see if he can hold that title. And we've made it to the John Cain Arena. Just look at how cool that is. The players are about to come out right now by the sounds of it, but they've closed the roof, which is great because it is nice and cool right now. But out they come. Taylor Fritz out first. Let's see whether he can win, because he is definitely the one to win. So it was a close first set, but Fritz took it in the end after taking it down to a tiebreaker. But Wawrinka is doing pretty well at the moment, so hopefully he can bring it back. And it's quite funny watching all the support because he is the underdog. Everyone is supporting him, and he's such a legend too, being 40 years of age. But fingers crossed he can bring it back in set 2, and hopefully then he can go on to win it. So we're now going to head into what is called the Grand Slam Oval to go and grab some food in between the sets because we are getting a bit hungry now.
Yeah, the atmosphere was again unbelievable. So, guys, thank you for. First of all, Greg, thank you for the wildcard invitation. Not the first time. For me, it was a lot of emotion when you called me to give me this opportunity to have one last chance to say goodbye to the people here in Melbourne.
What a game that was. Stan Wawrinka, the absolute legend from Switzerland, unfortunately goes out to Fritz, but he has won the Open before, so he's got to let someone else have it, I suppose. But at 40 years of age, he gave it a really good shot, and as a wild card too, he came out firing. So unfortunately he is out. It was quite like an emotional end to it. Went through all his pastimes here in the Australian Open. He got given a gift too, and then even got to share a beer with one of the organisers. But we'll be back at this John Cain Stadium for the women's game a little bit later on. We might not get here for the start of it, but we'll definitely see the end of it. But now we're going to go and have a look at all of the smaller courts on the outskirts, maybe see some doubles. I think the juniors might be playing too, but I do like to walk around the event and have a look around. What's also funny is they've got stuff like this Mecca thing, which is like a beauty place, and you can see girls and stuff getting all their hair done at the top, so it's really funny just seeing a beauty town in the middle of the tennis. So we've just been inside the official store and bought a couple of souvenirs to take home with us. So we've got one of the used match balls from the Australian Open, which is really cool, and it says 2026 on the other side too, and that only cost us $10, so take that every day of the week. And then we've also got ourselves one of the day programs. So this one was $25, so a bit more expensive, probably a little bit overpriced for a match program, but I had to get one as I do already have one for the Wimbledon.
back-to-back years. Tell us, it looked like you were pretty comfortable out there, tightened up into 70%. Are you happy with the way you played today?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with the win yesterday. I think, today was a lot of tight games. I'm happy that I was focused.
So we walked around and watched a few different matches like the doubles, the mixed doubles. We just watched a couple of junior games too and bought ourselves another drink. It was really nice at Grey Goose Bar, which had views overlooking quite a few of the different matches going on, so that was really cool. Then we ended it here watching Elena Rybakina, which was amazing because she is really good. 5th in the world, I believe, right now, and she is flying, so hopefully she can get to the final. But we've had a really great experience today, and I'll tell you all about it when we get out of here and I've got my camera back, because obviously the sound all day has not been great because I've not had my camera, so big apologies for that one. What a day we have had. Really enjoyed the Australian Open, so definitely recommend going. And even if you've just got the day pass and you're just going around to all different bars, restaurants, checking out the smaller courts, the couple of free courts, which there are too, it was a really fun day, so I definitely recommend doing it. Highlight of the day though had to be Stan Wawrinka. We really enjoyed watching that match against Fritz, and it was unfortunate that he lost, but Fritz was a very good player too, so it was going to be a difficult game nonetheless. But I do hope you've all enjoyed this vlog, and if you have, you should actually go back and check out when we went to watch the Ashes. We're trying to get loads of the sporting activities done whilst we're here, and that day was amazing. And again, another 40-degree day. For some reason, we managed to hit the sporting events on 40-degree days, and it is boiling, but thankfully they shut the roof of the John Cain Arena, so that kept it nice and cool. Or we've also got one coming up in the future, which is exploring Melbourne. So obviously we're going to be doing that tomorrow, and it should be out maybe next week. So you should go and check that one out too. So make sure to smash that subscribe button, because if you've got this far, you must have enjoyed the video, and like the video too if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next vlog.